All right, dear friends, I would like to congratulate everybody who is participating in this conference. I would like to congratulate you with, well, it's coming up. So I'll introduce myself if you don't know me. Let's get a little survey. Please indicate if this is your first time participating in the webinar or if it's the second one. So the first option is the first time, second option is the second time. I am the CEO of SkyWay Group, author of the Private Investor Academy project. I'm a professional investor. I invest in over 22 instrument directions, investment segments. I have 21 years of experience this year. I'm a business coach in personal development and business development. And this year, Marilyn Rich and Finance Time said that I'm one of the best business coaches in financial and personal development. I also have a master's degree in network management business. And this year marks 20 years that I have been working with network business to realize my aims and goals. I'm one of the largest SkyWay shareholders, and I'm in the top 5 of the largest shareholders. So I can introduce myself. Thank you for answering the poll. We have 11.4% of people who are here for the first time. But those who are here from mobile devices cannot act in the poll. So here's why I would like to congratulate you. First of all, here's the webinar program. We are 4 years old, dear friends. On the 1st of October 2018, we have launched 4 years ago. In 2014, we have launched. And this year, 1st of October marked 4 years of our operations. So we're working for 4 years and 27 days. You will hear the latest company news, what best investment offers we have, and you will see them in reality, in numbers. Next, we will talk about conversion of SkyWay pre-IPO equity shares into tokens, presents and promotions that we are launching from today, and Q&A. So we are so lucky, we are 4 years old, we have a webinar today. And we received amazing news yesterday about pre-IPO equity shares conversion into tokens. Because we are often asked, when will they repurchase pre-IPO equity shares? We knew that this information was coming in October and November. And yesterday, on 26th October, we received this information. And today you will hear it firsthand. Everything about the tokens. I always talk about the official resources that SkyWay gives us. So today you will hear the news from an official representative of SkyWay Group. Well, dear friends, let's begin. I'd like to introduce a chronology for the people who are here for the first time. I met Anatoly Eduardovich Unitsky in 2014 on the 22nd of February. I've heard about SkyWay on the 20th of February from one of my Private Investor Academy students. I'd like to bring up a video so you see that on the 25th of November 2014, I was talking about the New World Economic Evolution. We will talk about it a little bit today. I said that the survey is coming and the year is coming when the investments into innovative technology are going to start. I told all of my students who were on the webinars listening, I said that if there are any interesting offers in the development of innovative technologies, investment decisions, please let me know. I will be I will looking into it to see where the real projects are. So on the 20th, I met Andrey Fedorovich in his website. The website RSW Systems. At first I thought it was another pyramid, some more con artists who were using some Russian scientist's name. I've asked if this grandpa is even alive or if he's dead. They said, of course, he is alive. So I checked on Wikipedia, and of course, he was alive. Within 2 hours, I watched a great deal of videos, negotiations with Medvedev, and I said that I want to meet this person because I said, does he even know that they're making money on his name? And the person I was talking with at the time said, he created this, he made it, and if you would like, you can meet. And then I found out that the website only launched on the 18th or 19th of February. On the 22nd, we were supposed to talk for 1.5 to 2 hours. We talked for 2 or 3 hours. He told me about SkyWay, what you are seeing now, about his possibilities, and I sat down, went to bed, woke up and said that this is the project I'm ready to develop for 40, 50 or more years, and know that I will pass this on to my children. I'd like to say, dear friends, when I heard about this and met Andrey Fedorovich personally, and he told me the investment opportunities and numbers, I was blown away because I count pretty fast without a calculator. But the way he counted that at the age of 65, I was just blown away and surprised. So what am I leading to? I joined the project, and I was expecting that we were going to finance this project for 10 years or so, when one type of transport was going to begin, because I understood that the transport niche is very, very hard, complicated. So I said, how long will it take? 10 years or so? Because I'm ready to invest bit by bit. I have an academy. I will share it with my listeners so that they also invest. And he said, no, Andrey, in 3 years, we're going to introduce SkyWay to the world. I said, is this even possible? He said, well, at least these are my plans. And we have no time. And he told me about how there are 2 or 3 generations to the point of no return, how we have at most 30 years to get the polluting industries out of the earth into the space, so that the planet doesn't get destroyed, so that there is no ecological catastrophe, so that we can pass on a fruitful and developing world to the future generations. And back then I was surprised. Was it even possible? So on the 1st or 10th of April, he made me an offer to be the education director in the company. And in June, he offered that I head the investment attraction department and be his right hand in these questions. And I nearly agreed, but when I went to meet him in Lithuania, I came and said, Andrey Fedorovich, I'm sorry, but I have to decline the offer. I have to decline not because I don't want to further your project, but because I want to become your partner. I want to work with you long term. I would like to make a contract for 20 or 30 years with you. I have a lot of experience in education and investment businesses. I know how to attract investment. I know what to tell people. I know how we're going to work with people, and I know that there are a great deal of people in the world who are in the network business, multi-level marketing distributors, who work professionally. They make up 22% of all company distributors. That's about 1 billion people, which is why I would like to partner up in this way. So if you agree, I would like to move in this direction. Andrey Fedorovich was, of course, surprised that I'm declining the offer. I'm sure anyone would accept these perspectives, which are, of course, huge for the company. She said, well, you understand that you're going to earn a lot less money than you would earn working with me. I said, yes, I understand, but I want to work with you for a long term. And even if it's not great money, I want to work for way longer than you can imagine. Because from back in 2007, I was looking for such a project, such a global project. And you will find out about it more when we get to the New World Economic Revolution. So on the 4th of September 2018, on the 18th of August, we opened the company on British Virgin Islands. We've legalized the SkyWay Invest Group brand. And on the 4th of September, we've signed a contract for 20 years. I will explain why 20 years. Because I want to build 15 million kilometers of roads, not in 20 years. Well, of course, the company is going to build them, and we are going to make sure the construction is as fast as possible. But I want to build it in 20 years. So in 5-10 years max, I want to make sure we are riding high-speed universes, and so that we can get to Vladivostok in some just 10 hours from St. Petersburg to Vladivostok. From Moscow to Crimea, it takes 4 hours now, and it will take only 2 in the future, safely and comfortably at a lower price. And I want to make sure that in 20 years, just 20 years, we can start developing the program of moving polluting industries outside of the Earth to space. So on the 4th of September, 4 years of cooperation and partnering and investment of not only Ecotechnoparks and platform, but also other targeted projects and those projects that the SkyWay company is going to have. And on the 1st of October 2014, we launched this website with this picture. There were only 2 pictures on it, SkyWay, three pictures actually. Being a SkyWay co-owner is safe. Being a SkyWay partner is prestigious. And we began with one landing, public project of the 21st century, and the registration form for partners. So we started from here, and dear friends, let's see what happened in these 4 years. For those who are here for the first time, I would like you to understand what we're talking about. Please type a minus if you're here for the first time and you have no idea what is going on at all. Please put a minus in the chat if you have no clue what is going on. So let's watch a little video. A video of SkyWay technology presentation. Let's take a look. This is what the road into the future looks like. There is some dramatic music playing in the background. It says transport systems that supersede any that have come before it. Yes, the video is very slow. Everybody in the Russian chat says that as well. And I know that there is no music because you can only hear me in this room. I'm afraid I cannot transfer music from the main room to here. If you would like to watch this video, you can go to the SkyWay Invest Group YouTube channel, and you can find it on there with English subtitles. Yes, Lynn is correct. I absolutely recommend you check the video out on the main YouTube channel. Because of course, as you can see, there are nearly 900 people in the main chat room. So of course the video is going to lag a little bit. Well, that's great then. Of course, Jens, you can check the video out after the webinar. One, two, three. Okay, I guess we should turn off the video. Right. Okay, let's turn it off. Please send the link so that people can watch. Please watch it and listen. Well, here's the idea. Since the transport technologies today are not solving the problems, even if we make electric cars and other interesting ideas for the ecology, they're not saving the problems for today. Because our cities are overflowing with vehicles that are driving on fuel, natural fuels. Even if they drive on electricity, they will still be overloaded. So the problem is in taking the transport to the second level, so that the pedestrians have the ground and the transport has it a little bit high. It's a safe transport, a wonderful direction, which allows not only me and you to enjoy the life, use it, but also have the opportunity to become co-investors of this direction, this industry. And I'm sure you've heard about high-speed systems that are created now, such as Hyperloop by Elon Musk. To become an investor, you need at least $1 million and have connections to get to the Elon Musk and take you in the project as an investor. This does not include shareholders. You can only be investors. This is a Hyperloop technology. And it only exists in models and prototypes. The other 4 models are created by architects, designers, and not engineers. Unitsky pointed this out, that our models, which are manufacturing samples, are created by engineers with all of the details, with all of the tests, with all of the laws of physics, calculating how the vehicle will react above the ground. So here's an example so you understand. If you live somewhere and you want to get from point A to point B, so for example, work in some big city with higher wages, and you live 200, 300 kilometers from that city, and you do not have the ability to get to this place in any way, so you want to get higher wages. There is an opportunity to be in the city for 30, 40 minutes, and you can come back home in those 30, 40 minutes in the evening. And the second question to everybody who is new: would you like to live far away from from large cities, but with all of the comfortabilities of life, but so that if you need to get somewhere, you can go 500 kilometers or 1,000 kilometers in the future, and so that the ticket price is much lower than it is today. So, for example, by plane or high-speed systems that exist today, ask yourself: would you like to be able to do this or not? If you would, then the second question that you ask: if there is such an opportunity to be a co-investor, a co-owner of this technology, and receive a share of income from each transported freight passenger, to receive dividends from them, would you like to participate in this project and receive income and dividends from the operations? So here's a simple example. let's imagine that the fuel price has increased as it did in Russia, in Ukraine, around the world. Why is the oil becoming more expensive? And therefore the fuel, all of us suffer. So just imagine if you were co-investors of, for example, energy companies, and you were receiving dividends every month from the income, then because the fuel price increased, then you would have no effect on you. If you were a co-owner of the vehicle type that you drive, and the transportation prices have increased, and you're a co-investor, a co-owner, a stakeholder of these companies, such as avia transportations, road transportations, car transportations, all this stuff, then you would be receiving a lot more from that. So, dear friends, this opportunity arose 4 years ago, and Andrey Fedorovich made us this offer. And I would like to try, or if it doesn't work, we will send the link. Have you uploaded the public project of the 21st century? All right, here it is. Okay, let's try to turn it on. The public project of the 21st century. They're creating the largest business in the history of civilization. Yes, I'm afraid the video is lagging. Once I receive the link to this video, I will send it to the chat. So this video came out. We made the public project of the 21st century. And let's take a look at what happened in these 4 years. In 2015, well, first of all, everything was going pretty well. In 2014, we went to Lithuania. Mr. Yuniski went to Lithuania because he wanted to, as a wise man, be in Lithuania to, you could say, combine the West and the East in the future, thanks to the Baltic countries. And we received 36 hectares of land in Lithuania for architecture park. And in 20 days, on the 4th of September, we signed the agreement. And around these days, on the 5th or 6th or 7th or 10th, we were given land, 36 hectares, in Shaula, I believe, in the free economic zone. On the 28th or 29th, the Minister of Transport came there and said, "Are you crazy? Yuniski is a dishonest man." Then they said that Yuniski is some spy and wants to make this road, create this road to damage the defenses of their countries. Because the land that was given to us was not far from an aviation base, some US military base. So we lost €1 million, which was blocked in our account and were just recently returned. So we lost nearly a year, and in 2015, we opened a memorial sign, 0.0, as you've seen in the news. But if everything was fine in Lithuania back then, I believe we would have opened the 0.0 in October, November of 2014. But we lost about a year. We went to Belarus, and by the time we received the land, which was done pretty quickly, by the way, it was done in January, we're talking about getting the land for CJSC's Twin Technologies, and we received the documentation in August. CJSC's Twin Technologies received the land in August and began construction in September. And on 7th of October 2015, the 0.0 memorial sign was opened. You may watch the video, read the news. There was nothing there, just 0.0. And we were also planting the trees. Each tree has its own There's grapes in Ecotechno Park. I was eating apples from the trees this year, very tasty. And in 2016, we went to Ecotechno Park. You can also watch the video about this, where we already have stations like this and supports, cement supports in 2016. And in 2017, we already had the first EcoFest, which we visited, and we already saw Unibus being launched and Unibike. So we couldn't ride it back then because there was no certification, but they were already operational, and we saw how they were riding. And the same year in 2017, in December, we were the first passengers. I believe you've seen the video where we were the first passengers. It was 7th of December, if I remember correctly, 2017. The SkyWay Invest Group directors and leaders, we were about 25 people. We were the first passengers on the minibus. On the second path, well, dear friends, it was amazing. It was a wonderful experience. I cannot tell you how amazing it was. Because when they said that it doesn't ride, but it swims, it flows, I really felt it. It just flowed in the air. And in 2017, beginning of 2018, we received certification for 2 vehicles, the Unibike and Unibus. We already have international certificates. So what this means is that we already have certifications for the vehicles, and we can begin construction today, start a targeted project in pretty much any country in the world, which we are doing, and I will mention it a bit later. So here you can see the first SkyWay passengers. The reason we became the first passengers is because the certifications were given out. If there was no certification, we could not ride on them because it goes against all of the rules in the transport industry. Here you can see how happy we are, how ecstatic we are. We were just having fun and everything was amazing. This year, EcoFest 2018 and SWIG as well. In 2017, we gathered about 5,000 people. This year, we're about 4,500, around 5,000 as well. So the first EcoFest was really to buy everybody to take a look, especially the unbelievers, the disbelievers. This year, we saw people who were SkyWay supporters. So in 2017, everybody who was an investor came. And you know, investors don't always become real supporters. But this year, there were about 4,500 people, and they were real SkyWay supporters. And you know what's the unique thing? Here's what I would like to tell you. Mr. Unitsky, for the whole duration of the time he was developing the project, he was either approached by people who wanted to further his idea and help him with it, but would not invest money. And Mr. Unitsky had to pay with paper equity shares, pay wages. We had people like that, such as Sergey Sibirakov, Viktor Baburin, who have left the company now, and I'm very happy that they left. I'm not sure if Sibirakov left or not. I heard that he did, because he got bored of following SkyWay. And in all of these years that Mr. Unitsky was helping, they did not invest. But he has a lot of paper equity shares and he was receiving wages. Today I'm receiving messages from Unitsky's supporters 15, 20 years ago. They were saying, get me paper equity shares, I need money, buy them. And they say, well, I used to work for Unitsky and he gave me the paper equity shares. And Mr. Unitsky also had people who invested, such as General Lebedev, a couple of oligarchs. At the beginning of 2000s, late 90s, about 2005, 2006, somebody invested 1 million, somebody invested $500,000. Anatoly Eduardovich is suing someone. There is some guy who is suing him constantly, asking for a refund. So what I'm talking about is that there were 2 categories, people who were furthering the project and people who were given the money, but they were not really developing it and furthering it. They would just say, well, let's get it done quickly. What am I leading up to? This EcoFest saw about 4,500 people of real supporters who would both invest money. Just think about it. we will both invest money and follow the SkyWay project onto the market. And I'm part of these people. I'm not the only one who is following SkyWay onto the market by informing the population about these transport technologies, and that any person can use these unique opportunities that SkyWay Systems is offering. There are 4,000 people like that, of us, who are real supporters, who are really actively furthering and implementing the project in 176 countries in the world. 35 countries are seeing active work. One of our employees from Moscow wrote to one of our employees that Khovratov is not telling the truth, that Kazakhstan cannot have $1 million of income. Kazakhstan is a very poor country, they don't have the money, and he was lying. So here's an offer, Mr. Person from Moscow. You should come here and we will talk. I will show you. I will show you how much Kazakhstan is giving to my structure. Kazakhstan is number 2 after Russia for investment attraction into the SkyWay project and in SkyWay Invest Group. So the people are educating, they're helping the company get onto the market faster, which is amazing because they say if there's one dreamer, it's good. If there are 2 dreamers, it's better. It's 4 times the energy. If there are 3 dreamers, that's 9 times the energy. And if there are 4,000 dreamers, something happened with the connection. So you will not only be able to use this transport, but also receive dividends from exploitation of this transport type, both passenger and freight transport, and receive dividends. And the second thing, you will be able to receive what is called multi-level crowd investing management, and we'll be able to earn money before this technology is even implemented, so that you can earn money for food even today and not just tomorrow. So my friends, when you were at Teku Technopark, if you were at Teku Technopark and saved your tickets and you did not get an opportunity to get a ride, you have the opportunity to ride on Unibus if you saved the entry ticket and if you visit Teku Technopark as part of an organized group. So we will be organizing trips to Teku Technopark, and we will soon have interesting offers for our partners. So if you kept your ticket and you did not manage to get a ride, you will have this opportunity in the future. You will have the opportunity to join our group and go to Eco Technopark and ride any of the transport types. So now we are preparing for certification. We are completing all the certification procedures. And the time is nigh that we will be able to ride on the high-speed transport, because it is being placed above the farms, which is where the testing will happen. So of course it will not get to 500 kilometers an hour because you need at least 15 kilometers of road. But at least we will see how it quickly starts up and breaks. So look for your tickets if you haven't lost them. I have these tickets. And even though I got a ride on 4 types of transport, 3 that were presented there, I still want to get a ride. So our Victory at Trans 2018 in Berlin, which takes place once every 2 years. This is an innovative transport exhibition. I was there personally. There are videos which we will not show now because it lags a bit. I filmed this beautiful Unibus, the Unilog. That's the one that's going to accelerate up to 500 kilometers an hour. Very comfortable cabin, amazing. When you look at it from the outside, it's something just, you know, after in a trance, you can see the pictures of our partners. They came from many countries in the world to take a look and see. I will tell you the truth, when I was riding and they said it will be a 6-seat car, I thought it would be a unicar that we already rode. I thought, why would they even go there? It would be just a unicar. Maybe they will change it a little bit, make it prettier. But when I came and saw the Unibus, I was just blown away. And when I took a seat in it, I was just amazed. I was blown away by what we managed to do, what the company managed to do, and we financed such a miracle. And here's what I would like to say. What's the most valuable thing in all of this? We were shown in Japan in the latest news, in Germany, in Korea, in Russia, in Kazakhstan, in Vietnam. So there were reports, and InnoTrans was shown there. And the best thing there were new transport technologies developed by the Belarusian company CGSC Stream Technologies. Well, my friends, this is a great victory. Can you imagine? We were really the first innovative solution at this exhibition, which is, there are about 50 or so, or 500,000 square meters, or 5 million square meters. I don't know how many square meters there are. You can see it in the video. It's a huge factory. I believe it was built back in the Soviet times in Germany, in Berlin, probably some military base. And this whole territory, it was under the railway exhibition now, and we visited a couple of pavilions, and we were the only ones. So my friends, this is an amazing victory, which I would like to say to the new people. This opportunity. So 4 years ago, when we were just starting, there was nothing. Mr. Anatoly Unitsky was there, and his business plan, 15-stage business plan, and crazy belief in being able to do this, and that we want to finance it. That was told back then, well, Andrey, you should get into MMM or some other pyramid, because you will never be able to build this. You are just lying to the people, and so on and so on. And 3 years later, many network partners and distributors who said that we were a pyramid, they will say things such as about us, about me personally. They will go around USA, Europe. They will say, Armand, say thanks to Mr. Khovratov and SkyWay that you really believe that this is going to be implemented. We did not believe, you could not even believe that you would be allowed to enter this market because this is a very corrupt industry, and so on and so on. But you really proved that this is possible. And we are, my friends, partners and SkyWay investors, SkyWay Invest Group partners. We prove that we are a great force, and that multi-level crowd investing is a powerful force that is capable of moving a lot of the mountains and lift unliftable projects. I will show a very interesting video a bit later. So let's talk about the results. Total amount of people who supported the project, which is the people who said, yes, we want the project to realize. So they showed their position. There are 500,692 users in 176 countries in the world. The total amount of investors is 104,133 investors from over 100 countries. Total number of partners is 170,652 partners from over 50 countries. And the total number of earned bonuses, so the people who earned the money in all of this time, is $27,492,057. And just a bit over 30 million, the main company received from us in these 4 years. This is how we financed the company. Thanks to our work, the company was financed for about a bit more than 30 million. A bit less about the bonuses to our partners for their amazing job. A lot of people who improved their living conditions, thanks to our amazing marketing plan. Because why we call multi-level crowd investing? Because we use multi-level payouts to our partners. But so that you understand, we do not get more than 35% into the network. We get 35% into the network. And at first we had 50-50. We would give 50% to the company and 50% to us. And now the company gets 60% and we get 40%. So what am I leading up to? We're not just moving an immovable project. We're also creating workplaces, and we're giving a completely new profession to the people, which is called multi-level crowd investing manager. And the second position and they'll be receiving certification in Russia right now. And I was already invited to Italy, to Russia, to universities in Russia, to read lectures in the multi-level crowd investing. And we're going to get a license for the Private Investor Academy in Russia, and we're going to implement this as an additional curriculum course to many universities, both in Russia and Europe, where we are cooperating with these industries a lot. Because multi-level crowd investing is the job of the future, and which I will talk about more a bit later. So let's talk about the finances. What have we done in the financial direction? What has the company done in these 4.5 years? So the capitalization of the company is 5 billion years, as was announced at the ECOFAST. The investment in 4.5 years is $100 million. So a bit over 100 million were collected by investors for the financing. But out of them, let's see what investors have collected. So practically, how is capitalization calculated? 5 billion minus 100 million divided by 100 million and times 100. That's 4,900 capital growth in 4.5 years, which is 1,088% yearly growth, which is 90% monthly growth, which is 3% daily growth. These are the money collected by the investors. So it's the money that was paid out. But what has the company done? The company received 50 million, a bit over 50 million, more or less, maybe a million or 1.5 million, more or less. So out of this money received, the company's capitalization is 9,900 capital growth, 2,200 yearly growth, 180% monthly growth, not a year or 10 years, but in a month, which is a 5% daily growth of capital. About, well, not 5, but 6% rather, of daily growth by the company. It says 5% for some reason, but it's actually 6. It doesn't mean that this is the income the company received, but that's how the company grew. So just an example, the Apple, the company, when it was created in 76, it needed just $8,000. Today, Apple's capitalization is nearly $1 trillion. How is that calculated? You can just take a calculator. Let's actually calculate it together. Apple's capitalization, $1 trillion. That's 12 zeros. Minus $8,000 divided by $1 trillion times 100. Oh, wait a second, other way around. So this is okay. The calculator cannot fit all the zeros. So 1 trillion minus 8,000 divided by 8,000 times 100. That's 12,490,900% Apple's capitalization from 76 to today, which is 42 years. So each year the company grew 276 million%. Divided by 12 months, Apple grew by 24 million% per month. So that's Apple, just so you understand. And we, for now, in 4.5 years, the company has a capitalization coefficient of 6% per day, but from the money collected by investors is 3% growth per day. As I said 4 years ago, 3 years ago, and they keep saying it today, the SkyWay company, if we take all of the companies such as Apple, Google, Microsoft, Alibaba, Facebook, and other internet companies, that were made with Amazon and so on. This is child's play compared to SkyWay. SkyWay's market cap planned in 30-40 years is $500 trillion. Just think about it. Just think about it, $500 trillion, which is why I'm saying all of the internet companies, computer companies that made a high capital growth in the last 30 years is just child's play compared to SkyWay. And you can see what we've already done in 4.5 years. These are amazing indicators. Neither the crypto market nor the investment market managed to do it in 4 years. The crypto market grew to 20,000 for the Bitcoin, but fell in December of last year. And at the end of November, at the beginning of November of last year, I was presenting at the crypto conference, and I said that I hear the things I would hear for over 20 years today. But when I hear that every single pensioner and housewife can do this, and this is going to grow and grow and never fall, as soon as I hear these words, just wait, in 2 or 3 months you will see a huge drop. In September, November of last year, they were saying that Bitcoin is just going to grow, all of the cryptocurrencies are going to grow. Each housewife and pensioner can earn money from this easily, because it is only going to grow. And there were absolutely no foresight of drop. As we saw in December, it did drop a lot. And what is happening now is just crazy. We can affect markets. We can already form markets, my dear friend, really form markets. I will give a simple example. Why will we be given land by other organizations? For one simple reason, just think about this. Just as a simple example, if you consider that, well, they're in Russia or Ukraine today, I thought Kiev back then because I lived there. If you build a track from Kiev to Odessa, you need only about 500,000, 500 kilometers. Okay, 1 second. So 500 times what, 10 million? Yes, you need $5 billion. So if you consider this 500 kilometers, well, not all 500, but 300 kilometers, you have a linear city. The budget of this linear city construction is going to take about $500 to $1 trillion. Just think about it. We are already forming the market, which is going to, in the nearest future, going to be the transport artery of new generation cities. So, my friend, of course, everybody is interested, and we have a great deal of structured directions this year that would like to work with us, because we are already showing in reality what we're capable of. What is going to take to happen in the nearest 2 months is just going to be very serious moments, which we're going to talk about now. So let's move on to the news. Pre-IPO equity shares conversion. Oh, I would like to mention this one interesting thing right now. In the nearest markets, not a single investment market showed the same stuff that we've shown. Neither Forex, nor exchange markets, nor brokerages, no speculative markets. The exchanges market, no, not even the crypto market managed to show what we've showed in 4.5 years, in the last 10 years. Even though some would say, well, the Bitcoin 10 years ago you could buy Bitcoin 10 years ago for like $1 or $2. Well, yes, and now SkyWay, if you take a look, is 1 or 2 cents, maybe half a cent. You still have time to buy it for this much. If you'd like to understand what this is, you still have time to purchase this for this amount. For 1 cent or 2 cents or 3 cents, you can become a co-owner of the SkyWay company. Well, let's move on to the next slide. What would I like to show you? SkyWay token. It's been a topic of conversation for a long time now. They would say, why don't you make SkyWay tokens? And Mr. Unitsky's wiseness is astonishing me again. We have researched why we needed in the past year, how to introduce it to the market, and how it is going to happen. So you can see that until the pre-ICO, because there's pre-ICO and ICO, there are 28 days, 23 hours, and so on left. So it's more like 28 days and 15 hours now until the pre-ICO. Pre-ICO is people will be able to purchase SkyWay tokens. So my friends, so those people who are going to be, who have financed SkyWay from back in 2014, those people have a unique opportunity a completely unique opportunity. One second, I will open it up and read you what it says. By the way, we haven't shown yet. We presented the Unimobile at the exhibition for the disabled back in September. This is the best vehicle for the disabled in the world, because the vehicles where the disabled needs to put in their wheelchair, will get in and then put in the wheelchair, and here they can get in on the wheelchair and control the vehicle. So once again, this is one of the SkyWay directions where we are co-investors. So the construction of the factory technopark and the testing of the systems within it have proven that the ability, the performance of technologies of the technologies working in it. The SkyWay company has shown a breakthrough in the finance industry, and they're creating green energy innovative solutions. We have made the decision to introduce tokens. SkyWay tokens will be put into free circulation at the same time that a known blockchain platform is going to launch, which is going to be the main system for data collection, control, and calculation of all of the systems, which is going to offer token capitalization, and the owners will be able to take part in SkyWay development. So why am I reading all this? The tokens that exist today and are released today, like Bitcoin, of course, it was the first one, and Ethereum is a completely different, you could say, system. But it's the same principle. So you could say air, practically air. But a lot of cryptocurrencies that are appearing today are tokens. They have some office behind them, such as Buzcoin. She's a famous Russian actress, Buzcoin, Buzova. She wants to create some platform, and everybody is going to buy cryptocurrency on this platform. But she's such a small fish that it's just funny, and this Buzcoin is growing. It will grow, it will show some results. Of course not. There is a great deal of companies that, and I've heard crazy talk of some people. I was even laughing, to be honest. Maybe it's not funny, but it's these ideas like some say, I would like to create a blockchain for the restaurant business. And he wants to see what each client eats in each restaurant, how many products are left, and all of this is going to be calculated by the blockchain, and thereby the restaurant does not have to count anything manually, but what products are needed is going to be calculated automatically. And then the clients will also receive information about how much calories they had, what they should eat less of, more of, and so on. But I remember the words of Donald Trump, who said an interesting thing. Sometimes he's told about some ideas, but he thinks, well, this is just crazy. But after some time, he sees that once this crazy stuff is implemented, the person implements it and gets it onto the market. And these are gold words in his book, Think Like a Billionaire. If you have an idea and you know how to implement it, then do it. And blockchain technology, which is appearing today, first and foremost, this decentralization system. So they said in 30 years, people will be getting jobs over the internet, and everything that's done in real life today is going to move on to the internet. The SkyWay Invest Group company that was created 4 years ago is a completely online company that was created over internet. We would hire people over internet, and we met only in person only half a year later. We would actually converse over the internet. when I read Bill Gates' book, which was written back in '85, back in no, it was written in '95, yes. In '95, '98, some of the stuff was done, and at the beginning of 2000, it was already done, even though Bill Gates was saying that it would appear around 2010, some of the internet solutions that he talked about. So, my friends, blockchain and the cryptocurrency system is growing as an alternative opportunity for even faster humanity's development in innovative industries. And, you know, the innovation started moving into the market thanks to innovations. But the financial institutes today, the financial cartels that would like to squash innovative development, they want to control it. And we actually came across such situations. So we have 350,000 euro in Europe frozen right now. We cannot reach a conclusion, an agreement with them. And back in the day, SkyWay had $1 million blocked without any justice. So this token, SkyWay token direction, which is going to happen. And just imagine in the future, at least 50% of the population is going to drive on SkyWay, which is because we want 15% of the population of the world to support the SkyWay project, and we are moving towards this goal. And each one of them just will be a co-investor, and which I will talk about later. So why should we use somebody else's cryptocurrency when we can create our own? And Mr. Yunitsky made the decision last year to analyze and implement this, because why should we feed somebody else when everybody can be paying to us? And today we can already finance the development of this direction, and so that you understand why this is needed. First of all, we need a centralized system of data collection and calculation. And in the nearest future, in 20 years, our planet, well, of course, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope no catastrophes happen with the geopolitics going on today. If everything is good, I believe thanks to SkyWay in part, because our slogan is "Build SkyWay, Save the Planet," and Transnet Group slogan is "We join the world together." So we would like to bring people together around the world, because we shouldn't be fighting. The politicians are fighting, but normal people have no reason to fight. We can implement our energy in other ways. So let's take a look at this. Each of these 15% of the population have at least 3 or 4 relatives. So 50% of the population is going to drive in SkyWay. So if a person invests in SkyWay today, they have the opportunity to obtain tokens, and those tokens will go into financing SkyWay. And tomorrow these tokens, which is the unique thing about cryptocurrency, by the way, I'm against cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff like that, because they're not supported by anything. They are only based on demand and supply. So I'm against Bitcoin. So whether you like it or not, whether you like Bitcoin in speculative moments or not, but thanks to Bitcoin, we have a way to finance SkyWay without any problems from anywhere in the world, thanks to Bitcoin. Bitcoin became like a currency, which may even grow in value. Moreover, in the nearest time, the technologies that we are developing today, we will be able to affect the Bitcoin growth rate, which is not today's topic. It's an investment topic, and I will show this in one of the investment webinars in the future who are interested in it. I will show how we can affect Bitcoin's growth rate, because for today, even the SkyWay token will be connected either to Bitcoin or Ethereum. And so we will be moving the exchange rates, which is what I talked about in the past, 4 years ago, that we will be affecting the global investment system in the future. And today, thanks to the SkyWay token, it is already coming to life. This is the 2025, but it's 2018. So next, I will read the news. The advantage that the investors will get in investing in the token will be the ability to receive income from the project from the tokens and not just technology co-ownership. Without any extra investments. Moreover, after the tokens go into free circulation, they will be you can realize them on the open market, trade them, which is also investment. The ability of selling SkyWay pre-IPO equity shares for money is given to the first 5,000 investors that came into the SkyWay project starting from 2013. The group of companies would like to thank these people who supported the project at the very beginning of its development, when there was no architecture park, no construction bureaus, no testing facilities, nothing. They were given a discount of up to 1 to 3,500, a discount of 1 to 3,500 in November of 2013, when Yanisky was given money and there was nothing. And he contractually promised that he was going to give pre-IPO equity shares for this. Right now you can receive an investment up to 35 times this investment from the capital you invested in the technology. To explain how this mechanism works, we will answer a couple of questions. What is the SkyWay token? It's a modern investment instrument which is based on blockchain technology. The project will be able to finance itself from token sale, and the people who act as investors by purchasing tokens will be able to add to their investment portfolio another respective instrument. There are a lot of examples how tokens sold at a discount grew in price over time a lot. So who can exchange pre-IPO equity shares for tokens and who can sell them? SkyWay is given the opportunity to sell pre-IPO equity shares to the first 5,000 investors. So as you know, we have 120,000 investors in our company and about the same amount in the company. So there's about 250,000 investors in the company, and the first 5,000, the very first 5,000, will be offered the opportunity to exchange their pre-IPO equity shares. So I personally exchanged 100,000 pre-IPO equity shares yesterday. Why 100,000? Because, well, next question. Who can exchange money for tokens? The first 5,000 investors. So the first 50,000 investors can exchange them for tokens, and the first 5,000 can sell their pre-IPO equity shares for money. If they do not want to sell them, then those who came in 2015 will be offered this opportunity. If there are still free places left, then those in 2016 and so on. If there are places, of course. This is how the group of companies is thanking these people who supported the technology at the very beginning of its implementation. So what's the reason of exchanging the shares for tokens? It's an opportunity to receive another investment instrument. They will be traded on the open market in the future, and their price will be growing with SkyWay's, the company's successes. So the first 50,000 investors can exchange their pre-IPO equity shares in the amount of 100,000 into tokens, or refuse to participate in the promotion. Also, the first 5,000 will be able to sell their first 100,000 shares for money. If they decline the offer to participate, the investor will not be able to change their decision. So there will be a button. I will tell you how this will work in SWIG. How long will this work for? This offer is active for 1 month from its announcement. So yesterday on the 26th, it was announced. Here I'm reading the news. The news is in our SkyWay Invest Group website. So until 26th November 2018, those who would like to convert it. And I'd like to ask Nika to send a form for those who would like to exchange up to 100,000 pre-IPO equity shares. You can convert 10,000, 5,000, as much as you want. So when we were just starting in 2014, we were given 1,000 pre-IPO equity shares for free. Then 500, 300, 200, 150, and now we don't give out any at the present. But some of you can remember this. So those who received 1,000 back then, you can even exchange them with no problem. So for those who would like to reinvest pre-IPO equity shares into tokens to sell them, here is the form. You should enter all of your data and write what you would like to do. Reinvest them or sell. how many SkyWay shares you would like to sell, and send. So, moreover, my friends, over the course of 2 weeks, SkyWay Invest Group is going to prepare, as well as other funds, are going to have the same situation where you will be able to press a button, follow some link, register on the SkyWay token website, which already exists and you can find, by the way. There's no registration for now, but you can read through it. And you could say, get these tokens as a present today. As it says, the pre-IPO is going to happen in 28 days. On the 25th, 26th of November, the pre-IPO is most likely going to start. The pre-IPO is when you will be able to buy these tokens. Once this comes out, we will be understanding it. Also, the form will be translated into English soon. So the volumes will be quite large. Of course, you will ask, what's the point behind all this? This is for the people who would like to share their pre-IPO equity shares. So, for example, 100,000 tokens will be exchanged into, or 100,000 pre-IPO equity shares will be exchanged into tokens. There was another question somewhere in the chat, in the article. I cannot see the answer there. To not throw around empty words, but there will be a specified amount of how many pre-IPO equity shares you can exchange into tokens. I cannot tell the exact number of tokens because there is no information on the official website. And I cannot just say what I've heard. But you will be able to exchange it for a specified amount of tokens. So you will have a convert button. You will see in the nearest 2 weeks on the SkyWay Invest Group website, you will see some button to convert or sell. So you will be able to either sell or convert or decline this offer. So then you will be able to buy these tokens yourself, and you can read on the SkyWay token website, which we are going to link soon. So please find this link and send it to the chat. So if you fill in the form that we've sent, we will make sure that you're within this 50,000. So please send your application of what you want to do, and while these agreements are going on over the 2 weeks, for the whole, all of the agreements with the core company and our company are going on, we will be informing you each day so that you are able to write what you would like to do. So next, we need another model of investment. Today, what we've encountered and what we're implementing, thanks to cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, as USDT and so on, but we mostly work with Bitcoin and Ethereum and USDT. It's one-to-one to USD. So the nearest time you will see cryptomats, such as ATMs for cryptocurrency around the world, and we are working actively with these people. We are preparing a program of cooperation with these cryptomats. So there's like ATMs and there's crypto ATMs. They will be placed around the world where you will have cash or a card, and you will have a SWIG button or SkyWay token button, and you will be able to buy the SkyWay token or finance through SWIG. Because we will know all this once we receive the information, but as far as I know, the information I've heard is that SkyWay tokens will be able to attract only large investments. So it's not $10 or even $1,000, but much larger investments. And the second important thing is that in all of this, if it has large investments, we as collective investors will make sure that each person So like we have EIPs for 5 units, 10 units, 25 units in installments. We will make sure we will think with the company how to purchase the tokens in large volumes and give them to our co-investors for those who would like to purchase them. So when is the ICO going to happen? Again, there is no official information, but from what I've heard, it is going to happen 90 days after the pre-ICO. So if the pre-ICO happens before the 1st of December, then December, January, February, we should see the ICO around March. Normally the ICO is done in about 90 days, sometimes 2 months. If they do it faster, they do it faster. What is the ICO? When the ICO process begins, we go into the cryptocurrency stock market. And on there, you can sell any token. So I believe that a great number of people will want to sell SkyWay tokens because as some say, well, Andrey, when can we sell SkyWay pre-IPO equity shares? I need $10,000 right now. I need to treat my teeth. I cannot talk to people because my teeth look bad. I need $10,000 for teeth now. I don't know what you can do for $10,000, like teeth or something, golden teeth. Well, those who would like to get their teeth done or something, you can sell the tokens through the cryptocurrency market. It may be called SkyCoin, but most likely it will be called SkyWay token, SWT. Well, you will be able to sell it. Moreover, if you've been following what I was saying, you will be able to you currently have Core Technologies pre-IPO equity shares. So they're the shares which are going to be about 20-25% of each project, even though in Russia they're currently doing a project where we've provided unique opportunities for the company. We are 5% as the company there, but 95% of the income is going to go to the company. So of course we want the company to have a larger share of each project, because as an investor I'd like to say, if the company enters 25% of its project, then one share will cost $1 when there's 100,000 kilometers of roads built. But if the share of the company is 75% in this project, then if you divide it by 3, that's 30,000 built. And if we make up 90%, or even 95%, as we said now, then it is going to take only 20,000 kilometers. And so the share price is $1, which is why I want the company to have the largest share possible in each project. And the second reason I want this is because I don't want the company to be interfered with by anyone, by some partners who will say, I want this to be done, I don't want this to be done. Well, we're just doing this. So if we talk about targeted projects, we are already developing a lot of targeted projects that we have already agreed with the local authorities, but Mr. Unitsky has paused them for now because they're small projects, not large. But once the project starts going and we are leading in negotiations, it is all reaching its conclusions, and we even have the support of leading banks that are willing to finance us. So they're saying this is such a huge project, you cannot not make a bid on it. So 95%, there's 95% possibility that we will get this done. And we have another group that is going to give us a financial investment with better conditions. And if you'd like to find out what financial investment is, project finance is, you can come to the Genius of Finance game and find out there. So with project financing, we can receive up to 95% of the share of each project for the company. I'm going to make sure this is done, and I as a professional investor know how this is done and how this is implemented. And along with all this, we are the basis of the development of new infrastructure businesses. I've given you an example about the Odessa Kiev structure. And if you take infrastructure such as St. Petersburg or Vladivostok, it can be one huge linear city in the future. So the cost of this project to implement it in the construction, the freight and Durban systems, it will be about $50 or $100 billion. and the infrastructure for new way of living of the population, such as we've seen on the pictures. Here they are. SkyWorld, you've seen the video, right? It's a linear infrastructure, a new infrastructure for a new way of life. It will cost 50 or 100 times more. So if the project is, if the Frightened Urban project costs 100 billion, we've calculated it on two lines, the North Line and the South Line. For Moscow, St. Petersburg, Kazan, and so on. And there's also a North Line, St. Petersburg, Izhevsk, and so on. It's above, on the top. And again, to Vladivostok and to the Sakhalin Island and to Japan even. This is a global project, London, Tokyo is the name. So the infrastructure project will cost at least 5 or 10 or even 20 trillion dollars. Which is because we're going to create a completely new direction with completely new jobs, completely new work directions, completely new entrepreneurial activities. And what's most valuable in the future, especially for Russia, it is going to be very favorable for Russia because there is a great deal of clear water. And there's a technology called Siberian cold, which is when the Siberian ice, which is made on Baikal and so on, and when our refrigerators will work not on electricity, but where you put a cube of ice, and even if it's really hot in the summer, so the summer starts in April here, this half a cube is going to be enough for a whole summer, and you will have clean water. You can cook from it, you can drink it, and it will also freeze. It will also cool down the products in the fridge. Or, for example, talking about the ACs, where you can put 2 cubes of ice and you get flowing water that you can. It's clear water, drinking water. You can use it for if there's a lot of it. You can even wash your face with it, take a shower with it, and cook from it. And of course, natural cooling of the whole house, not through airflow, but through ice cubes. This is a new technology that some people think here today and think, wow, this is just crazy. They're futurologists of the highest degree. But my friend, SkyWay was considered a futurological thing 4 years ago in an illusion. But today you can see that this is all real. We've done it in 4 years. In fact, we've done it in 3 years if you haven't lost it yet. As Mr. Yunisky promised, in 3 years we will get on the market and the people will be able to sell their SkyWay shares and get money. This opportunity in the face of SkyWay token has appeared. So as Mr. Yunisky promises, he delivers. Here's what I want to say. All of this is great and wonderful, but we have 15 years. If humanity has 2 or 3 generations, which is 60 or 80 years to get polluting industries outside the Earth's orbit, the normal people have 15 years. And multi-level crowd investing meaning has a very important meaning for the people on the planet, because SkyWay opportunities does not just provide opportunity to invest and receive percentages in the future from your investments, in the direction, but you can also create a future for people on Earth in general. I would like you to see these pictures, such as robotics, so you don't need people anymore. The question marks, what kind of jobs are going to be needed during when everything is robotized. There's a great number of pictures like that. So here's an interesting thing. Let's try to get this video up. I'd like you to relax a bit and maybe get a little bit of a laugh. I hope it works now. Let's take a look. This is wonderful. I wanted to meet you for a long time. I think you've seen this interview with Will Smith. And be here with you on the Cayman Islands. I have to see, this is something special. No, the video isn't working. Can you hear me? Okay. When the video goes up, everything starts freezing. One second, I will send you the interview on YouTube. Here you go, you can watch the original interview in English on YouTube, if you would like. As a bit of a background, her name is Sophia. I believe she was developed in Dubai, and she is the most intelligent robot at the moment. She's capable of understanding conversation and actually giving intelligent human-like replies. Of course, it takes a while to process, which is why the video is quite funny. She says, I think we should be just friends. Why did I show you this video, my friends? So answering the question of what kind of jobs will be needed during robotics and robotization, I believe that under full robotization, well, the reason this is being stopped a little bit is because a lot of people will lose their jobs. This is huge social tension, just so you understand. And once, when I was in Italy last year, or a year and or 2 years ago, and I was talking to one of the state representatives of one of the regions, and he said, we don't need this public investment, we don't need all that, we will find the money. And I asked, where? They said, well, the European Development Bank. And I said, well, what are you going to give us collateral? And they said, well, the city, the town, or some buildings, city infrastructure, basically, just like a normal bank would take. And I say, you know why we want at least 15% of the world to participate, at least in targeted projects? Let's take a look at Milan and Rome, for example. Milan-Rome is a very nice project with a high volume of passengers. So if the robotization system appears and people are not jobless, but the cargo and freight will still be transported, the people who are co-investors of the targeted project of the Milan-Rome targeted project will be receiving very nice dividends. Dividends which are going to be way above the wages today. So when those people are fired, they will not be breaking windows, they will not be demanding money from the government or saying that you have to provide us with jobs, they will be getting dividends. So my friends, this era is coming, which is perhaps why this geopolitical conflict is going on. It might be preparing us for a new Third World War, not even informational, but nuclear, because we're overpopulation of the planet and so on. So thanks to being able to educate people in financial literacy and how they can control their money, how they can be rich, these people can be co-owners of the SkyWay technology in the future, in the future in different directions of the technology, and live a much better life than they do today or than they did 100 years ago. I'd like to show another video now. I really want you to watch it now. This is a housey village. You can see nice houses that have 2 or 3 cars by each one. This is not Europe, America, but a Chinese village called Hosi, even though it's not quite normal. In China, it's called the #1 village of the country. Everything is green and calm. So unusual for China. Hosi is the most rich and best village in the country. Each family has at least 3 million yuan. The education is free. The groceries are very cheap. Hosi is an example of how communism can be built on a separate territory. The phenomenon of our village is not in the working of people or geographical location of the village, but in the workings of the Communist Party. Only thanks to our Communist Party was the development possible. Without him, this guy, there would be no Hosi now. At the beginning of the 60s, he led Hosi in his own direction. Understanding that they would not be able to live on land, they started investing in manufacturing. We've created our own special economic way. We took something from capitalism, something from socialism and communism. We were given land and freedom. We developed economic development plans and began working. There's metallurgy and textile industries present, which are exported to over 40 countries in the world. The 84-year-old Arjun Bao, which is his name, he is moving away from the works now, but once a week he gathers all of the workers and reports on developments of the village. Yes, Hosi is one big co-ownership. The wage is not that high, about 1,500 yuan, but at the end of each year, 20% of the village's income is shared among all of the people living there, which ends in a concert, which is very loved by the villagers. Huh. Can you hear me? The video cut for some reason. Okay, the video cut. Okay, it came back. So I guess you understood why I showed this video, and I believe you've heard the main words. Hosi Village is a large stakeholder organization where each villager has assets of about 3 million yuan, which is $100,000. So just imagine our countries. Can you imagine if each Russian citizen, let's imagine that Russia is a large corporation. Of course, that's already the case, but in a bit of a different way. But if, let's imagine this corporation works the same way that Hosi Village does, and thanks to the gas and oil industries and other industries as well, like such as metals and such like that, the assets of each Russian citizen would be at least $1 million. Of course, if everything is done correctly. So this is not just theory, but merely practice of the new world economic evolution. These are my theoretical works that you can study in a video book on my channel, which is called Andrey Khovratov, A Progressive Person. I will send the links now, you can watch it. There are 4 videos, 15 minutes long each. And you will understand that I was told once that this is just theory, it doesn't make any sense, but Hosi Village shows that this is not just theory, it's reality. So what we can implement thanks to SkyWay is the new world economic evolution everywhere in each country in the world, where the people have the opportunity and the ability, even under full robotization, to live a very nice life, be very rich, while also doing what they love. And here's what kind of jobs can be needed. First of all, it's obviously the development and programmer jobs that can create more and more robots. There are jobs related to technological breakthroughs. So today we have an era of children being born who are very are very focused on industrial development of the society, who have very huge potential at birth. And the main profession that Alibaba talked about, John Ma talked about it, that the future belongs to logistic industries. So, for example, for China, which is essentially a large exporting production center today, so even then, China needs to transport a huge amount of freight and cargo and people who go there to make money. And for that, you need to invest huge amounts of money. So, as an example, if you want to sell something, to create something, some product, first you need to buy millions of dollars of products into China. You have to put them on huge cargo ships, and then they take a month or even 2 months to ship. Then you need huge incomes here to do this. So you need to take out loans, get into debt, and so on and so on. But if you were able to take a 1-ton cart from China in a day, then you can just invest $10,000, run it 10 times a month, and get a return on your investment. So with less money and higher volume, you can get a breakthrough, an economic breakthrough in all countries in the world. You understand, right? So the main professions can be logistics industries, which can also include full robotization. So the reason I showed the video with Will Smith and the Sophie robot is because the interaction between humans and the so-called movement from mouth to mouth and hands to hand is never going to go away. It is going to be eternal. So the multi-level crowd investing and networking businesses are eternal professions which are always going to be needed. They will also be required. So those who work with SkyWay Invest Group, if you would like to not only receive a huge amount of money from buying pre-IPO equity shares 2 or 3 years ago with a huge discount and became the co-owner of SkyWay, I want you to understand that the future that humanity has depends not only on how much money you have, but what you do with it. At the assembly, and I'm not going to put in the video, I think we will link it at the end, where I was participating in the MLM assembly. I said that we had 10 or 15 years, because once robotization comes here, and the people from the 20th century, from the manufacturing century, lose their jobs, nobody's going to provide it for them. Today you need to get new professions, get educated in new jobs, and the main profession which is always going to be needed is communication between people and development of information. So what do all of the networkers do around the world? They don't sell products of their companies, they just further the information about their products and businesses. So back when I came into the multi-level business, they were saying that the 20th century is the century of information. And if you can get information quickly to other people, you will be a very rich person. There's a Russian saying that says, you shouldn't have 100 rubles, you should have 100 friends, which means more than ever today. Today, if you have $1 billion, for example, then the banking system, it can just squash you. So, such as the Russian or Ukrainian oligarchs are being squashed by European banks, and they're saying, well, start a war, you won't see your money. But when you have 1 million people, 10 million people, 20 million people that you can interact with and communicate with, then if you receive just 10 cents from each one of the 10 million for the information, you will receive money, and you will always have money. So passing on information is the main direction. And what's most important is delivering it quickly and being able to adapt to new informational resources, because today we have a great deal of them, And if you cannot navigate around them, you can get lost. But the main goals we have in education is not only investment literacy education, but also informational resources education, how to identify them and understand them quickly. So if in terms of investment, we teach people how to quickly find new investment opportunities and how much to invest. So you should invest here, here, not here, should invest more here, which is portfolio thinking. So when you make decisions about buying a house or a vehicle or something like that, you need to always be able to get this information, analyze it, and make a decision. And we also specialize on this as professionals, and we teach people, we share our knowledge on how to do this. So this speech I gave at the assembly, I recommend you study it. Please send the link to the chat about the basics of personal development. I suggest you study this course and see and hear where I talk about 5 levels of motivation. Because thanks to SkyWay and SkyInvest Group, we receive all of these 5 levels of motivation. Because not a single company, classical linear company, not a single one of those can give you 5 levels of motivation. Perhaps 2 levels or 3 levels, but never 5. I will not be talking in detail about this because we don't have much time. We've been talking for nearly 2 hours now, and there's also Q&A coming up. Please watch this video and study it. To understand that you're receiving all 5 motivational levels thanks to SkyWay and SkyInvest Group. You're receiving all of the basics and can keep developing in all of these 5 basic directions. So, friends, if we talk about SkyWay Invest Group events, from 6th October to 25th November, we have SWIG Italy National Tour. So on the 1st and 2nd December, we have a conference in Italy with my participation. So all of the people working in Europe who speak Russian, Italian, you should come to this conference, gather your people there, connect with the people who are organizing the conference there. We will meet and talk about the news. So on the 1st and 2nd December, we'll definitely have the pre-IPO and have all of the news. I will bring all of the latest company news about our fund development in the nearest 5 years, and we will talk and build plans for Europe. Because I would like to sort out the plans with the leaders, European leaders in Italy about our future movements. And if you've forgotten, back in 2016 or in 2015, on the 16th of June, we signed a contract, our company, our Global Transnet UK company signed the contract signed an agreement with Mr. Unitsky, CGST String Technologies. First, we signed the protocol on the 4th of April for the initiation of 100,000 kilometers of roads, out of which 30,000 will be in Russia, or rather no, 100,000 kilometers in Russia, 30,000 in Ukraine, and 30,000 in Europe. And on the 16th of June of 2015, our Rus Transnet company signed a contract for the amount of about $50 million, about 20 billion in Ukraine, and we have a global project in Global Transnet UK in Europe through Germany, through France, Spain, and into Portugal. And we will be talking about how to start realizing this project and what actions need to be taken and what we need to do with you. Next, we will have Master Profi in Yalta in Tourist Hotel. So those who are not afraid to go to Crimea, you should come. And we will get some good work done there because all of the leadership is coming there, and we will be building plans up to 2022 to make sure that those But those results that SWIG showed so far will be shown there. And we as SkyWay Invest Group, we've increased our capital from $26,000 to $10 million. So SWIG's capitalization was about 27% per day. Then in Minsk on the 18th of November, 3rd of November we'll have a How Crowd Investing Combines Innovation and Financial Literacy Conference in Palm Beach. In Birmingham on the 27th of October, and for 2nd December in Rome. And here I'd like to say that we always have, from Saturday to Tuesday, very good offers and promotions to people who would like to seriously start education with us, learning about investment literacy. We have educational programs that you can receive nice bonuses for. So these are the first steps of a SWIG partner, which costs 100 units. And starting from the 1st of November, it is going to be 400 units instead of 200, because it is going to have higher filling. Master Profi 8, it costs 1,250 instead of 1,800. You have the opportunity to go to Crimea for Master Profi. The Genius of Fine Genfin VIP IAP costs 1,550 units instead of 2,500. You have the opportunity to get a franchise in your region. And the Express Consultant IAP you can get for 5,600 instead of 8,500 and receive a nice bonus. There are even better offers, which is called Business Profi. It's something similar to the Express Consultant IAP, but better, because you only pay 5,400, which is 1,350 units per month if you will pay in installments for 4 months. So you receive Master Profi training, Consultant Express qualification. In the 2nd month, you also send 1,000 paper equity shares, same in the 4th month. And once you pay for the 4th month, you also receive Genius of Finance training. And you have the opportunity to move in this direction. And you also get a business case with all of the materials about the business case, the Genius of Finance, as well as certificates of completing the course. This is going to act only until the end of the year, so make sure to use this promotion and receive 5 in 1. So 1st to 5th of November, you can come to Crimea, Yalta, and meet the Department of Multi-Level Crowd Investing. This is a demonstration, and we will be translating it to all the languages so that people can use these materials in the languages to prepare multi-level crowd investing managers very quickly. And generous autumn promotion. Please type a plus in the chat if you like to receive presents. Not just money, but also presents for your work. Please put a plus in the chat. And which one of you would like a new MacBook or an Ultrabook? Free for just good work. And who wants a new smartphone, a Samsung smartphone or an iPhone? And who would like to get both? Are there people like that? Wonderful. Well, friends, starting from 27th October to 17th December, we are launching a promotion. So what do you need to do? Firstly, from the 4th to 15th place, so there are 15 places in total. So we are offering the simplest promotion that anyone can do, even people who cannot speak. 27th of October to 17th December, invite 5 or more people who, with personal investments of 100 units or more, and you can participate in this promotion. So the higher places are given to those who do more work, better work. We want to thank the people who really work with this promotion. So for example, if you have not 5 but 10 people that you've attracted, and each one invests 100 units, and let's say you invited a person who invests, say, 10,000. and you've decided to get the first place in this promotion. And let's say you've attracted all of your relatives. So if you have 10, out of which one invests 10,000, so you have 10,900. And there can be another person who also has 10 people, but on average, each one paid 500. Then this person will win. So just work and do the job that you are doing now, and you will receive very nice presents for that. So 4th to 15th place gets units. I believe from 30 to 100 units as a present. You will see all of the promotion conditions on Monday, I believe. You will see it in the personal account. You will see how much you need to do until you can enter the promotion. You will see the list of people and showing who has done what. So 3rd place gets a Samsung or iPhone and 8,000 PAT equity shares. 2nd place is an Ultrabook or Apple MacBook plus 10,000 shares. And 1st place is personal coaching from one of the multi-level crowd investing department members of your choice, apart from me. So you will have coaching from one of the members of the department, plus 15,000 SkyWay PAT equity shares. You also get an Apple MacBook or an Ultrabook, as well as a Samsung smartphone or an iPhone of your choice. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me better now? So please, write in chat if you are going to participate in this promotion. If you are just investing and not inviting anybody, then you cannot participate. We've created this promotion for the people who are our partners and working to get some money, finance the company, and also receive these prizes. And please write in chat if you plan to get from 1st to 15th place. And who is going to be in top 3 places? And who is going to be in the top 3 places? Only me, 1111. Okay, and which one of you is going to get the top prize? The 1st place. Write so in chat. 1st place is mine. They're writing, I've done all of the conditions. I am the king. Well, friends, what you need to do to complete this promotion? We're moving on to Q&A soon. First of all, once the webinar ends, write a list of all the people who you've already spoken to but have not made a decision yet, because this promotion is only for those who you invite again. So write down a list of those who you have invited but who hasn't made a decision yet, and write it down. Write another list of people who are already your partners but who are not registered yet. So make sure to update all of the people and print out the promotion once it's up, and send it to each one of your partners and tell them to print it out and put it on the fridge. If you put it on there, then put it also where you sleep, and also put it in the toilet. So if you meditate in the morning, you can read this promotion. Make sure to do this so all of our partners registered start participating in this promotion. Tell them about today's news, about SkyWay tokens, about what kind of changes are happening today, global changes. Because what we are doing today and implementing targeted projects, just think about it. We're not just financing the project, we are moving the project. We want as many people as possible to support the project. Of course, not for free, we get commissions from this, pretty nice commissions. But we are also implementing this project in reality. So why am I in this project? I can not only invest in it, I get the opportunity that I don't have in Hyperloop or in traditional railways or other innovative companies. I have the opportunity to, first of all, become an investor. Secondly, make sure this project gets in the market as soon as possible, and learn, with the help of Master Profit, become a multi-level crowd investing manager, and implement targeted projects in my region, and become a manager in this company that is going to implement targeted projects. Of course, if you have the abilities for this. If you don't, then you shouldn't bother. You should just do what you love, like growing trees or talking with people or screwing some nails or something, or paint. Only those who have the abilities should enter, and those who like doing this. And we will teach you how to do it, because the targeted projects in the nearest year, you will see about 50 targeted projects in the coming year for a total amount of about $100 billion. That's what kind of targeted projects we're going to introduce. And of course, we need speakers who are going to lead these events. Can you hear me? Okay, so something happened with Andrey Fedorovich's webcam, I believe. Okay, it's coming back up. I was taken out of it, yep. Okay, well, friends, let's end this. We're not just offering to become a co-investor and get the tokens launched. We want you to take your life in your own hands. Start forming it, stop crying and look around and look for the guilty. For the guilty in the government or other people, or your mayor, or maybe your teacher who didn't pay enough attention to you. But take control of your life today. Come and dedicate yourself at Master Profi. And I want to say that in Crimea and Master Profi we will get the latest news, because I'm gathering all of my directors at my house today. We will be building all of the plans, having fun, of course. And on the 1st, we're going to Yalta in Tourist Hotel. And on the 4th of November, we will have a topic called Perspectives of the SkyWay Invest Group Fund Development. And you will hear the latest news about what we're going to do in the nearest 4 years, what we have planned and are going to do in the next 4 years. Well, now it's the Q&A time. I will answer the questions that you're going to write now. Please write the questions now. I will try to translate your questions and put them in chat. The question is, are only new people participating in the promotion, or can registered people participate? No, you have to have new registered people. So you cannot have your old registrations. You cannot just tell people who are already registered, tell them about this promotion, invite them, play some Genius of Finance games, and so on. Because of course this is unfair. Because you will be able to earn money with us, even more money, and when SkyWay tokens are released, You can also purchase SkyWay tokens. I do not want to guess about the share prices now, or rather the token price, but I have a very clear table calculating all of the share prices, even talking about speculative noise. So the speculative growth can give a very big boom. And the fall, of course, because if a great number of people go into the cryptocurrency exchange market and they start selling, of course it is going to start falling in price. And of course, as wise men, we are preparing for it with our leaders, our directors, our people. We are preparing the money now, because if those people start dropping the tokens, the token price market will fall, of course. The prices will fall. We will wait for the tokens to drop in price and buy them for cheap. So if you want to sell them, sell them. They're created for the people to attract more people and to get growth. So how's the growth going to be built? Let's say $10 million of tokens are bought today, and 7 million are sold. Then the price will grow. Tomorrow, 10 million are bought, and 15 million are sold. Then the exchange rate will fall. If the day after tomorrow, $5 million is bought, and 7 million is sold, then the exchange rate will fall. So the price will grow if there is demand and people don't just sell it. So why, as a professional investor and financier, of course, this is silly to sell them now. Once we get into the cryptocurrency market, we have to hold them to make sure there is demand. And if you need money, well, start working now. What are we making these promotions for? So, friends, I would like to explain to you, Tatiana. These 100 people, call them, talk with them, 20 will join in. Some of them will start inviting more people. One of them will complete a promotion, and you will receive 20 active partners in their place. So this promotion is meant for everybody, especially they say, well, all the people will win. They have more people, they have more experience. Well, no. People who are just starting, this promotion is for you. Because it's harder for me to get more people with my list, because I have so many people registered under me already. But you will grow in this respect. However, I offer you as leaders to also participate in this promotion, because I will also be participating. And you will see I will be in the list, of course, one of the top 15. So in the last year's promotion, the Toyota was won by me, because I was also doing business during this promotion. I've attracted nearly 8 new partners, and 4 became leaders. And of course, I won this promotion. I was not just sitting around as the CEO of the company. I'm also attracting people and teaching people this business. So I will also be participating in this promotion. Of course I will. Because I like being in the front lines everywhere. So some would say this is easier for you to do it. No, it's harder for me, because the person I attract now, I will be working on them winning this promotion. I will be doing everything for them to win, because they have a new list. They have a new list of 300 people, because none of their surroundings know about SkyWay. Maybe some do, but are not here yet. They say, oh, we have no chances then. Well, if you say and write that, then you definitely have no chances. If you want to have a chance, I offer. As I said, I am in the top 1. I am the top 3. I am the top 15. I will be the winner. You have to do this to win. Can you please explain again how to register for the tokens? Well, the registration is not open yet. For now, Nika will send the form now. You need to register for now, so that you are within these first 50,000 people, or with these 5,000 people. Because yesterday we got the news, and today we have the list. And we will give this list to the people, because the buttons that need to be pressed for moving to the next stage, they will be done within the next 2 weeks. So within 2 weeks, we will have the button on the SkyWay Invest Group website where you can register. So for example, even if you register in RSW Systems today, you don't have a personal account there. Your account is in SkyWay Invest Group. The data will be converted from our personal account. So you need to wait for these buttons. You will press one of these buttons, register there, and complete this function. If I'm subscribed to the newsletter, email newsletter, and they have over 2,000 people in this base, and they send this to my partners, I send this link, will it not be banned by SkyWay or pulled out of SkyWay? Of course not. If this is your structure, your base, I had a structure of 50,000 subscribers from 35 countries in the world. What I recommend to you, Alexander, is that if this is your base, not stolen, not a spam base, if you are just sending out spam, of course we will block you because we do not tolerate spam and we see it immediately. But if these are your subscribers, just subscribe them to something, just gather them up in a webinar room, like I did on the 4th of March. I've invited Mr. Yuniski, he told about the project. Then I talked about the project twice more. Do this yourself. If this is your base, really your base, then record a video, get some content, send them an email saying, I am this and that, you subscribe to me because of that, and I've joined the SkyWay project and I like this because of that and that. I suggest you read more about it on this link, and if you like it, register on my link. If you have any questions, please answer them here. I will have a webinar on this date and you can ask your questions there. I am in the company from 2017. Will I be able to sell some of the pre-IPO equity shares in the nearest time? In the nearest time, you will be able to sell within 90 days. The official information is that once you're able to register, within 90 days, or after 90 days, I don't have exact information now. It's either within 90 days or after 90 days, you will be able to sell. And you will have a price for these pre-IPO equity shares. But if you accept to sell these shares, you won't be able to convert them. You will have the option of either convert them, sell them, or decline them. I've decided to convert them because I started in RSW, I have a personal account there, and I have a huge amount of pre-IPO equity shares there that I bought in the first 6 months. I even have a certificate for 500,000 pre-IPO equity shares. So we pay for AIPs here and receive pre-IPO equity shares as a bonus. And capital is only given out pre-IPO equity shares, and there is minimal difference in price. But you do not receive extremely valuable and expensive courses there. That was a reply as to what the difference between SWIG and capital. There is some insider information. We are leading negotiations with 3 large investors who want to build targeted projects now. And our position is that if you want to create targeted projects, you should invest in the company. If you did not invest in the company, then, well, goodbye. We have so many contracts signed for 400 million, 350 million, 200 million, and then they disappear in an unknown direction, appear back up in half a year later. We signed a contract last September for 400 million, and we thought that that's it. 15th October or 15th November of last year, the contract was supposed to be closed. And those investors started saying that they have problems, they cannot send the money, they were stuck in South Korea, in America, in the UK. And there was supposed to be a certain amount of peer-to-peer equity shares last year. So we've moved on to the 13th stage, and they started demanding the shares. And they said, oh, wait, no, we have a contract signed. And well, to be honest, you can stick it up yours. You had to send the money a year ago. So we are leading negotiations now, and I hope it happens because the people are very serious. I talked with one of them yesterday. I said that if you sign this contract and do not complete your obligations immediately, as indicated, Unitsky will not wait. If you think that you've signed it and can now start collecting the money from large people now, and you wait with the payment even by 1 day, you have to understand as a financier, as a jurist, that the contract is void. But I really hope that this happens, because we really want to finance and build targeted projects. But for now, we don't know anything about moving to the 13th or 15th stage. Mr. Unitsky said even if large investors come here, we will still be selling peer-to-peer equity shares to all investors for 2 or 3 months. Those who are registered without investments. So once again, Ivan, those who are registered without personal investments will not be participating in the promotion. You need registrations from 27th of October until 17th November, as it says in the promotion. From 27th of October to 17th December, invite 5 or more partners. From 100 units. It doesn't have to be a single payment. It can be 10, 10, 10, 20, and so on. From 27th October to 17th December. If that's your question, if one of the 50,000 investors do not exchange the shares to tokens, will this move on to the next person? Yes, it will. So if the first 50,000 are given this opportunity and do not have, there is no demand for it, then the next ones get this opportunity, and the first ones cannot do it anymore. Which is why it will take until the end of the month to calculate how many will actually want to participate in it. It doesn't matter if you came in 2014 or now in 2018. You will be able to convert into tokens, because at ICO, people will be buying tokens and you are just receiving them. That's the answer to your question. For now, only the first 5,000 investors coming in 2013-14 will be able to sell their shares. Let's wait for official company news and see, well, you could say it here. If that's how it is, we will know about it. Why is Siberyakov nowhere to be seen? As I said, I was told that Siberyakov said that he got bored of the SkyWay project. Same with Babulin. I talked about both of them. You can hear the recording about them. You could say they have burnt out. They've done what they had to. I don't understand why the token is so expensive, 50 shares. What's going to happen in the future? Well, I'm going to open our website now, and I will tell you roughly how much one share costs. If you take the most expensive, for example, $150,000, so $100,000, for example, then you get I suppose it's 1 cent, more or less. So if we open the standard APE standard, if that's 10 units, that is 50 shares. So 10 divided by 50, that's 20 cents. 20 cents. And if that's 1,000 units, that's 40,000 pre-IPO equity shares. Oh wait, no, other way around. Then divided by 50, that's 20 cents. And 1,000 divided by 45,000, that's 2 cents, 2.2 cents. And if there's 10,000, then 650 divided by 10,000 divided by 650,000, that is going to be 1.5 cents. And if we buy it for 100,000 divided by 7.5 million, that's 1.3 cents. So 1.3 cents is the price of the pre-IPO equity share if you buy it in bulk for 100,000. So 100,000 pre-IPO equity shares on average so that's 2,000 USD more or less, 2 cents each. So 1 cent, 2 cents will be the price of tokens. I believe that's a nice price. 50 pre-IPO equity shares, that's about $1 or $2. Go into the personal account and you can see how much you can purchase shares for and check the price of per share yourself. I don't understand why the token is expensive. That was just answered. You need to give 100,000 shares for 200 tokens. I don't have this information now. I read what it says on the official website. There is no price here. I'm going to go into the personal account now and see if it says it there. All right, the personal account, news, same here. Same here. So there is no price, no nothing. Some say it's going to be $1,000 or $2,000, 2 cents per pre-IPO equity share. There's no such information anywhere, so I'm not going to give this information, right? What's more profitable? Holding pre-IPO equity shares or converting to tokens? Once again, as it says in the official source, let's read once again. What's the point of converting shares into tokens? It's an opportunity to receive a new investment instrument at your disposal. The tokens will be trading on free markets soon. So SkyWay tokens can already be traded on crypto markets in spring, I believe. And SkyWay shares will be trading in no less than 5 years. Because first, there is no reason for the company to initiate the IPO process today, because today the price that we have on all of the assets, which do not include intellectual property, because professional investors are very fox-like people. The first 3 years we need a balance sheet, and we have a group of companies. Which company is going to provide the balance sheet? The global transport investment company with 4 billion assets. There's no movement because many different companies are giving investment funds for the financing of the project. Once we have 1, 2, 3, 4 projects with 25% share in each project, maybe 75, 90, 95% for our company, then the income generated by the company after paying taxes is sent to Global Transport Investment, which is the main company. And then once we have 3 years of balance sheet records, we have the ability to initiate the IPO process. Without 3 years of balance sheets, we cannot do it. Global Transnet is just useless for them. So here's our logic. This project in Russia, our aim is building it in 3 years, 250 kilometers. That's my goal personally. I talked with the people that I'm negotiating with, and I told them to contact me directly because I'm personally involved in this project and I'm personally investing in it completely. I bought a flat in Moscow, and I'm going to spend 15 days each month there because to conduct this project. I want to build the first 20 kilometers in 2 years max, maybe 1 year even. And within 3 or 4 months, they're going to sign all of the needed documents. So let's see, 250 kilometers of the project. The cost is going to be around $2.5 billion. Once we build it in 3 years, 3 years will be exploitation. So that's my wish, of course, and they say these time frames are too fast. Why fast? The Simferopol airport was built in 2 years. Can we not do it? Of course we can. Yes, we have more square meters, but we will get new jobs. It's just a huge project. Why not? We can build it in 3 years. So if we build it in 3 years, after 3 years we initiate the IPO process. Just this company on the Moscow Stock Exchange. It's just part of the huge SkyWay project, the global transport investment project. So in no less than 5 years. But to be honest, we should initiate the IPO process once we have 1 million kilometers of roads around the world. That's going to take about 15-20 years. So for example, the Alibaba company, in 96 it was established, but they only went on the stock exchange in 2015 or even 16. No, I believe 15. So after 19 years, why did they initiate the IPO process? First of all, to receive a lot of money to capture even more market, even more rapidly. And today, Alibaba has captured nearly the whole market globally, nearly everywhere. Today, you can order any product from AliExpress for 1.5 cents, and you will get it within half a year. That's what Alibaba did. And in 19 years, they went on the stock exchange when they had everything. They had the name, they had everything. Same here. We should initiate the IPO process once we have everything. Once each share costs at least $1,000. And we come out with 10 or 15 or 20% of the shares, and that's at least 10 years. So will you be able to sell the shares? Of course you will be able to. Once we have people who want to buy it. But when will they want to buy it? Once they see that there are a lot of targeted projects being implemented and built, and everybody wants to have these shares. Again, that's going to take about 10 years. And when can you sell SkyWay tokens? In spring already, maybe in a year. I personally want, of course, I cannot promise, but I want that in a year, once it's launched, let's say in spring, in 1 or 1.5 years, I want to make sure that we grow, the tokens grow 10 or 20 times in a year. So we will get people coming in financial literacy. I will be personally leading financial literacy courses once a month. For those who've invested 100 units or more per month, will have the opportunity to join these courses, financial and investment literacy courses of the Private Investor Academy. So for those people who have invested, you can come here once a month and we will talk with you, converse with you to increase your financial literacy so we can affect SkyWay token growth in the future, right? So should you buy them or not? That's up to you. I personally have converted them. I will buy more tokens because I trust Mr. Yanisky and I want to support all of his beginnings. And then for the September, we've signed an agreement saying that we support him in all of the projects done by SkyWay and Sky Technologies. Yes, Alex, all of the links will be sent to everybody who is within the 50,000. And for now, you should fill in the form so that we can appeal to the company and say that we have this many, like today, tomorrow, and Monday. We can give them the list and say, this is how many people we have that would like to convert or sell. Which is why you should enter your login, surname, name in the form, the amount of shares. Please send another link to the form so that they can fill it in. Tokens are launching in Dubai. I believe Mr. Yanitsky said it in the last video in April. I believe his birthday is on the 16th and 19th April. I would like to sell pre-IPO equity shares. What is the exchange rate? You cannot sell one pre-IPO equity share today. Today, you can make an application of purchase, so the company purchases these shares from you, and the company will contact you or will announce, and of course we will also announce. Well, yesterday the news came out, and in the evening we sent out this news, and you will find out how much the company can purchase it for from you. Can you please hold the webinar on pre-ICO on tokens? A lot of people don't know what this is. You know, I don't fully understand what pre-ICO is myself. Well, of course, I do. I understand it as a beginner, as a newbie, but it would not. I don't want to look like one. So what is pre-ICO? I'm not going to hold a webinar on this. What is pre-ICO? So today the company has announced this. Let's say we have pre-ICO on the 1st of December. So ICO is like IPO, except on the cryptocurrency market. So pre-ICO is when there is a website, there is a SkyWay token website. You can find this website once again. It's in public access. That's what it's called, SkyWay token. I will send you the link once I find it. ICO rwsystems.com. Here's the link. There's only information here, no registration. So it just says 28 days, 23 hours, 49 minutes, 50 seconds. So what is the pre-ICO? As it says, time until pre-ICO, which is when you can register and buy tokens at a discount. So let's say for $50,000 you can buy, for example, so if it costs 1 cent, $50,000 divided by 0.1 cent, that's about 5 million tokens for $50,000. And there will be some conditions which you don't know yet. Honestly, I don't know them. I heard that they said that there will be no multi-level business there, and there will be no small numbers. That's what they said in spring. I don't know now. But even if it has large numbers, because also when we started working with the company, the list you could buy is for £250, which is why I've opened the fund back in the day. I talked to Mr. Yanitsky about this. They said I want to sell for 5, 10, 15 units so that each pensioner may buy SkyWay pre-IPO equity shares, so that every person can get at least something. You can write it down anyway. They guarantee that it will happen. 1000% that it's going to happen. Once we build 50 million kilometers of roads, that's 20 or 30 years, SkyWay share price will be at least $1,000, at least. And I have a table of calculations. I'm not just saying these numbers. I have calculated it in a table, just in passenger transportation. And you can learn more from freight transportation as well. I've calculated it considering 25% share, but we can also get to 75, 90% in each project. So if we have 50% in each project, then we need $2,000. So if you have 1,000 pre-IPO equity shares today, in 20 or 30 years, when 50 million roads are built, you will have $1 million in capital. And this housing village, as it says in the New Economic World Evolution, thanks to being an investor in SkyWay, your future children and generations will have a future. And income per share will be from $50 to $150. In $50, 1,000 shares, that's $50,000 per year, yearly income. That's more than existing pensions. So, for example, SkyWay token may become the leading currency, and maybe they will be held in SkyWay tokens. You know, if it's 1-to-1 with the dollar now, then maybe SkyWay tokens will be 50,000 a year divided by 12. That's 4,000 a month. Today, if you would earn 4,000 a month from holding shares of any company, would this be good money? That's your safety net. You lost your job, you found your job. You're not worried about money and survival. You and your children have money for survival. Even if you have just 1,000 shares, then already you could say that everything's fine. You can start now, get more people and more money. So we've created this promotion for you, so you don't have to waste money on buying a new smartphone or a new laptop. Create a list of people you know, 500 or 1,000 people. We have a technology in the personal account called public survey. Call each one of them and ask them to get contacts of 10 people that they know. Because I work in a company and I need to get a survey, and the more people participate, the more money I get. And those 100 people you know, when you get 10 people from each one, that's 1,000 people already. You call those and you can increase your partner list in a month. Then 10,000 people, and those 10,000 people, you can call those and you can say, this is a public survey about transport infrastructure, this and that. And then also say that we have a public project of the 21st century. There's also a transport group that connects the world. We also have multi-level cloud investing, also 8 rules of rich people, and the people can choose themselves what they want. We have this in our personal account. You can earn 1,000 units. Buy these opportunities for 500 units, even 10 units a month. You can already start purchasing these opportunities for just 10 units a month. Just 10 units a month for the installment tariff. That's 100 units. And you will have 500 SkyWay shares. And if you pay 25 units a month for 10 months, while still retaining the discount, that's 7,900 SkyWay shares. It's just amazing, isn't it? So in 20, 30 years, you will have 7 million assets for your family. So start working with us today to live, to earn enough for living today. And then you can pass this on in the future. Well, it's been 2.5 hours, my friends, and I can see there's a discussion going on, not so much questions. The dividends will start coming out after the first target projects in the amount of at least 20% from income. Yes, that is completely correct. Since we have privileged shares, we have a guaranteed right to 20% share of income. Here's a simple example. We recently analyzed, I gave our financial director, Igor Romanenko, a task to find 100 companies with the highest income. One of the 10 companies is Alibaba. They're making amazing income, 60, 80% income per year. But in these 22 years, they haven't paid out dividends once. The shareholders are furious and they're saying, what the hell is going on? And Alibaba says, well, if you don't like that, you can sell our shares and on the stock market and you'll get money. They say, well, we don't want to sell them, we want dividends. They say we want to expand and expand, they don't want to pay dividends. And companies like that are many that don't pay dividends. So what did Mr. Yuninsky do in the RSS holding? We get a guaranteed 20% of the income. We have this right. Understand? That's guaranteed. It's in the memorandum. If the company receives income and doesn't pay, then they break a contract and we can simply sue them and get our money. But here's what happens. Mr. Yuninsky is doing what he promises. He said that this year in October we will get the cryptocurrency. And here we are. Now pre-IPO is going to launch. So pre-IPO, I'll finish with this. Pre-IPO is when, before entering the cryptocurrency market, the token purchase is undergoing at a discount. So it's kind of like the SkyWay pre-IPO equity shares before going onto an IPO. And again, the IPO is not going to start until 10, 15 years into the future. So what's the purpose behind the IPO for the company? Mr. Yuninsky has 51% ownership in the SkyWay company. Once the shares cost $1,000, he can say, let's say 20%, which is like 100 billion shares, $1,000 each, that's $100 trillion. So you can easily form projects, you can easily start a project of moving polluting industries outside of Earth's orbit. And here he can sell them at $100 trillion like that. And who is going to buy them? Pension funds, investment funds. We will find people to sell this to, 1,000 or 2,000 apiece, because the dividends will be high. That's why it's done. So the project, the planetary project is done. You understand? That's the reason behind all this. And what is pre-IPO? Once you purchase a token, if in spring the ICO process begins and we enter the crypto market, once we enter the crypto market, and as a little secret, already next year, we're going to open our own 2-3 cryptocurrency markets. The reason for this is so the brokers who are here today don't reduce the price. So my plan is to have 20% of the cryptocurrency market for our own. I know how to do this. It's a completely different project and there's completely different money. They're not public money. That costs way less than many think that when we are developing this project. I believe that next year we are going to have 3 cryptocurrency markets. One on the American continent, one on the European continent, and one in the Asian continent. If they allow it in Russia and India, that's where they're going to be. Then we are going to make 5 cryptocurrency markets where SkyWay pre-IPO equity tokens will be traded. These are our plans to support the project so the traders cannot speculate on the prices and make the prices drop. This is one of the aims to ensure security and a steady growth of the market of the SkyWay tokens. Well, why don't we wait for our own cryptocurrency market? Well, we're going to enter the cryptocurrency market in spring, and those who want to sell them, the tokens, they can sell them and receive the money. What's the problem? And can you imagine if we enter the market That's pre-ICO. And once the ICO starts, such as the case with the Boost coin and so on, they grow 10 times or more in a month or so. Same as here. Let's say somebody exchanges 100,000 shares for tokens. That's like 2,000 to 1,000 tokens. And this 1,000 tokens is, say, they cost, say, $10 each in half a year. That's $200 already. You can sell them, sell a 10th or a 20th share, get a new car, go on a vacation, live a rich life, make a video that all of this happens to me thanks to SkyWay. You should remember that if something good happens thanks to SkyWay, you should record the video and publish it. Those who sell tokens lose their dividends. Well, you should understand this. There's a thing in cryptocurrency such that tokens cannot give out dividends. Tokens can only grow. Dividends can be given out from shares. The tokens are collected so that it's like a prototype of a currency that is going to be used in the future in this direction. So we can use our own tokens to pay. So if you think you can get dividends, they are essentially, the regulators said the following. There are tokens that will be able to pay tokens, but you're a publicly traded company, you should become an investor of the company. Creating tokens that give out dividends is too complicated. However, the tokens can grow because they have a basis. So for example, Bitcoin and Ethereum have no basis behind them. They have no support. Ripple has the banking technology behind them, and these don't. They only work on demand and supply. But because Bitcoin and Ethereum were the first, they became payment systems. And if you talk about SkyWay tokens, this is going to be a payment system, a currency, and a way to convert certain things. And for example, if a station is being built somewhere near the sea or in the mountains, and you have these tokens, and they grew in price so much that you can pay for 1/100th of a token for 10 days of living there, as an example. Can you please give us another link to the application form so that people can apply? The amount of SkyWay tokens is limited from the beginning. I believe there is 1 billion tokens. So that project, a solar station, passenger station, an infrastructure station, that's what's going to be in the basis. Next, the project solar energy station. Another project in European and Asian countries. We need more than 300 trillion. And another transport complex in the Near East, over $1 billion. Over 300 million in solar stations, which we will need for all of our stations. Next, marketing 1% and so on. And solar stations about 24%, and the rest is commercial projects, like urban and fight projects. So the price of this project in the Near East is going to be 1 billion. Solar station and construction costs in Europe and Asia, 300 billion. Overall token amount will be 1 billion tokens. Pre-ICO is going to be in the 4th quarter of 2018. ICO 4th quarter of 2018 and 3rd quarter of 2019. So maybe we'll see the ICO right before New Year's after the pre-ICO. There's a roadmap here. You can take a look at this. On the 25th of November, pre-ICO, pre-project works. for the construction of solar stations and SkyWay transport complexes. Fourth quarter of 2018. ICO process initiation and documentation. Second quarter of 2019. Testing of the solar station and SkyWay systems. July 2019. ICO process closure. Possibility of trading and exchanging SkyWay tokens on the market. So we're planning to enter the market in July 2019. Fourth quarter, more documentation on solar stations. So you can read it yourself in the roadmap. It's right here. We've sent the link to this information. Please follow it and read. Here it is. So here's what I'd like to say, my friends. A lot of people have a lot of expectations. Now, so why are they exchanging 100,000 now? Up to 100,000. They're exchanging up to 100,000. Well, the privilege that is going to be collected from the ICO and the pre-ICO are going to be gathered for the project, of course. So those who have SkyWay, you and I have this privilege, because some people will have to buy these tokens for a lot of money, and we can convert the 100,000. You can exchange 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, as much as you want. Look, the tokens are called pre-ICO. Before the ICO, they are tokens. Once they go on the market, they become coins. It's the same as in the stock market. They call shares before they enter the stock market and stocks after entering the stock market. Even though shares and stocks are the same thing. Why are they called stock exchanges? Because you exchange stocks. What exchanges will these tokens be traded on? I don't know. But I believe a lot of exchanges will want to take these tokens. I believe we will open our own market up to July, and it's quite possible that they will be traded in one of our markets. If you have an account in RSW and you exchange 2,000 tokens, then I believe you will have an opportunity to also do this in SWIG, because you have different accounts in SWIG and RSW. If you're also in the third fund, Capital, then I believe there's another one. So I believe that you will be able to convert the tokens in all three of these accounts. We have another one in RSW as a fund. That's a corporate database. And Capital also has one, because many people are in all three funds at the same time for diversification. Even though they used to say some crap like our shares are not right, the Capital ones are right, that's just lies. Why is the pre-IPO going to take so long? Well, I've already explained this. I'm not going to repeat myself. You can watch the recording. I've already answered the question. Alibaba company entered the IPO after 19 years. Well, once again, IPO is entered for two reasons. One, if you need money. And two, if you need money to start a project. And two, if you need money to expand your operations and capture the global market, as Alibaba did. If you consider the Facebook company, they entered the stock exchange in 2012, but opened in 2003. So that's 7 years. So it's impossible for the global transport investment company to enter the IPO, which holds 400 billion shares. It cannot enter the IPO because it does not have a balance sheet. So the balance sheet only contains receiving money and investing into the technology. You can only enter the IPO when you can provide a report for 3 years. And the least amount of income has to be 5% a year. So the ICO and IPO formula is much easier and more prospective than traditional IPOs and markets, which does not mean that they're not going to enter the IPO and traditional stock exchanges. The Russian companies that they're going to have will enter the Russian stock markets. European companies will enter the Frankfurt markets or Italian markets. If it's Germany, the Frankfurt market. If it's England, then the London market. If it's Australia, then the Australian market. If it's India, then the Indian market. If it's in America, then on NASDAQ or NYSE. But the targeted projects, so you understand. They will be given income, they will be given indicators, but Global Transport Investment, the main company, all of these are its companies. It's an investor of all of these companies, and so it will grow. So the shares will grow in price once we start building around the world. And the advantage today of SkyWay shareholders is that you have the opportunity to become a co-owner of the core technology. Because once the core technology is closed, your share register will be in all SkyWay projects, in all of the projects around the world. And if we talk about the tokens that are being prepared now, there's only the ERA project here. We need 1 billion for the ERA project. As it says here, you can read. So SkyWay tokens for now will go to specific and to the ICO for these targeted projects, and maybe SkyWay token. You can have SkyWay token 1, SkyWay token 3, and so on. Or maybe SkyWay token Arabia, SkyWay token Europe, and so on. These are just my guesses. I don't know how it can be. But as we see now, it says here, commercial projects in the Middle East, over 1 billion. That's what SkyWay tokens are collected for now. So this participation and cost is only in the Middle East. So practically we are entering a targeted project with these tokens. We don't need to open a separate company and collect money for it to build. Here it is. We can finance it through SkyWay tokens and even get something out of it through the cryptocurrency market. Well, friends, I believe 3 hours is enough. Alexander is writing, you're actively working in project financing. She's already exposed us. He has already attracted Sberbank and will also get on the London Stock Exchange easily. When will be the opportunity to purchase pre-IPO equity shares of the core company be closed? I said it today already. You can watch it in the recordings. Right now we are negotiating with 3 very large financial groups that have money so that they buy out all of the core technology. And our negotiators are doing great. They say, why 3? Well, there's competition. Those who offer more will get the project. If it's just 1, they can think long, they can try to negotiate lower prices, but if there's 3, it will be faster. So if it happens, we will be given more time as private investors in crowd investing to buy them. But I cannot give you an exact date. It can be 3 months or it can be half a year. I cannot tell for sure. All right, my friends, I think when will the partners who purchased their shares as promotion 2017 be able to purchase tokens? Well, the pre-ICO is going on now. ICO is when people can purchase tokens for money. People will be able to purchase tokens for money, any person, not just SkyWay partners, practically anyone. Just so you understand, the cryptocurrency community is about 100 million people. That's the crypto market, the crypto society. So why is the company entering this market? To capitalize in this market as well. You don't need to occupy all of it, but even if you have 5 million people from the cryptocurrency market, that's going to be growth for the company. And I'm always for company growth. Yes, information overdose. Especially for new people, I believe they got blown away and have a headache now. All right, friends, I guess that's enough. Those who didn't understand everything can, within 1 or 2 hours, it will appear on our YouTube channel, and you will be able to watch it as a recording and understand everything. All right, friends, once again, the promotion. Join the promotion, receive present from the company, come to Crimea to Yalta in Tourist. By the way, Yalta in Tourist, it got recently renovated last year we were there, and it's a post-Soviet, a very famous post-Soviet hotel in Crimea that could only be accessed by a special group of people. You should come and take a look. It's very beautiful. I was there last year, and after the Soviet Union, it was so, international. It was in Tourist, it's called, And now it's just amazing. The level is extremely high. So you should really come and have a rest. As they say, those who have been to Crimea and haven't been to Yalta haven't been to Crimea. So we will gather up in the tourist hotel, go to the sea, take a look at everything, and it's also going to be 3 days of good work. If you purchase Express Consultant today or Business Profi or Master Profi, you do not pay for accommodation and food. That's on the company. You only pay for getting to the place. So for the plane ticket, train ticket, bus ticket, however you want. And actually you can get by bus from Moscow on the new bridge. You should come and get educated, find out the latest news. Because finally we have these news, and the leaders would say, okay, we need to plan, and I would say, no, we need to wait for company news, because we can make all of the plans, and then the news will come out, and all of our plans will fall apart. So let's wait for the company news and plan. So now they're going to come here, and we will start planning, and everything is going to be great and wonderful. Right, friends? I was very happy to talk to you today. Our next meeting is going to be at the end. We're going to see when the ICO begins for SkyWay tokens. And I guess we should wait for the news, and after them, we will announce at the end of the month, 28th, 29th. We will talk again. We will share the latest news, report what we've done this month, what has to be done. I will be in Italy on the 30th, so I believe on 1st, 2nd, 3rd December, yes, 1st, 2nd, 3rd December, we will meet in Rome. All right, friends, goodbye. I wish you all the best. Oh, the webinar recording is already there. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for participating. I hope I did a tolerable job. I'm sorry for some connection issues, but it's bound to happen with so many people. Thank you for coming, and I will see you next time.